Jalen Brunson has New York fever, and you know what? I think he should get checked out with the doctor. This is the DA.
And I'm the doctor, James Goulianos.
And we're Man Cave Sports. James, I know you are a somewhat big Knicks fan. You're a basketball fan. You're a New York fan, really. That's foremost. But Jalen Brunson made a lot of news this week when he signed a 4-year, $156.5 million deal with the Knicks. These are contracts in the NBA are getting ridiculous, but he is worth every single penny of this deal. But I know it's making big news and big waves in the NBA world and the New York world. He is a New York Knick through and through, and I love it. I love the energy he brings to that team, what he brings there. Tell me a little bit about how your feelings about Jalen Brunson and this signing.
So my feelings about Jalen Brunson is the guy is awesome. He's the best point guard I have ever seen for the Knicks. He's one of the best players that we have ever had. But he might be the dumbest player we've ever had.
What?
In order to
Why?
sign
Why
this,
that?
He signed this extension. If he waited one more year, he would have gotten an additional $113 million out of the Knicks. Now, Knicks fans, we love Jalen Brunson for helping the team and for giving us the flexibility to go out and buy more players to finally get a championship back to New York, because the Mets, the Jets, the Rangers, they're not cutting it. But it's $113 million.
$113 million. Okay, so why? Please explain to me, because I enjoy the NBA. I don't really care a whole lot about it. It doesn't really drive me in any way. But I'm a sports fan, and I respect the living hell out of what these athletes are doing. Some of the best athletes in the world. Please explain to a novice, to me, why if he would have waited, if he's signing an extension, whatever, he could have made $113 million more.
Yeah, there's something in the CBA that if he had waited one additional year, he would have been able to get a super max deal with the Knicks. Now, I don't understand, the salary cap and how it works with being able to get a super max rather a max, and I have no idea. But all the reports are saying that he could have waited another year, and it would have bumped him up an additional $113 million.
I'm sure it's probably something to do with how some of the NFL contracts were a rookie contract, and then like once you've played with enough years with a certain team and you've started enough games or something, I'm sure there's something like that. We are not the NBA experts. We live a lot more in the NFL, a lot more in baseball, especially Major League Baseball. But so if anyone out there knows a little bit more about how the Supermax works, has an easy step-by-step guide, let us know, because I'd love to learn more about it. But to me, when I'm looking at this now, there's an interesting component about it. It's really easy to sit there and throw out 113 more, because that's the numbers are the numbers. He got the max. There could have been more of a max. The idea, though, is that third year he would have gotten, in 2029 and 30, the 1 year he was missing in this next deal, he would have gotten $61.2 million. If you subtract 113 minus 61, let's just call it some easy math here, it's a $52 million difference, right? So that's, in all reality, he didn't leave 113. He left $52 million, because he can still get a $60 million deal next year. He can still get a $60 million deal in that 29 to 30 year, because his 4-year extension right now doesn't get him that 29, 30 year. So we're still missing 1 year off the contract. It's comparing a 5-year deal to a 4-year deal.
Right. But forget about all that for a second, because I don't know if he could have gotten 60, if he went to another team. I'm not really sure how that works with the NBA. But the bottom line is he left 113 guaranteed dollars off the table. Yes, he would, let's say in that 5th year, he would go out there, somebody would give him $35-40 million, whatever the case may be. But it's still 113 million guaranteed that he would have gotten if he waited one more year. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. But again, yes, it's a lot of money. The AAV is down from the first year, let's say 25, 26, he's making essentially $12 million less. And then the next year he's making $13 million less, then 13, and then another about $13-14 million less. So every year he's making about $13-14 million less. And then there's that extra year of $61 million on the back end, which bumps it up to that huge number, right? So it's basically he's losing 53 on these first 4 years of the contract, and then a 61 at the end, which makes it the 113. But it is guaranteed money versus guaranteed money, and it's guaranteed 113 more versus what he got. But you can't tell me that there's no spot that you don't just have this little love, this excitement, this enjoyment that he left cap space, and he left an ability for a Knicks team to be able to be good and compete and sign other players to get them, instead of like what he did this year. What he did this year was insane, right? I believe he is 4th in MVP voting. He brought the team to the conference semifinals and one game away, and they probably should have been able to beat the Pacers, but Pacers came back, ended up pushing them to a 7-game series and winning in that 7th game, and a lot of controversy in that series. We even talked about it here on the show. But he put together a great team and a great run, and a lot of it was on his shoulders. I remember when he stepped up, and you were the ones that called it, was you watch out for this Knicks team, and we said in one of these episodes, this could surprise a lot of people and win a championship, and they got close. Does it not just fire you up and excite you that he's willing to leave money on the table for the team to bring in and get a championship?
Absolutely, it fires me up. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm happy. I want to see the Knicks win a championship. But from a businessman, from a guy who loves the business of sports more than I actually love the sports, it really bothers me. I'll take you for an example. How much did you make in your career?
Oh, probably around 11.
Around $10 or $11 million, which is nothing to sneeze at. That's awesome. I'm very happy, except you haven't given me any of it. But regardless of that fact, you got hurt right before you were going to be a free agent. The guy who took your job, Brandon League, the guy who filled in for you while you were hurt, ended up getting a contract in that same offseason that you were hurt. And how much was that contract that he got?
Ooh, about $23 million. For three years, I believe it was.
Yeah, $23 million. Yeah. And you never, ever had the opportunity to get a contract like that again in your life. Players have a very small window where they have the hammer, where they can ask for a ton of money and get it. Jalen Brunson right now, he doesn't have the hammer. He has a sledgehammer. He's the savior of the New York Knicks. They have been horrific for a decade plus, and he could have gotten that Supermax deal very easily, and nobody would have said anything against him about it. If he gets hurt next year...
Nobody would have said a word against him.
No. If he gets hurt next year, he's not going to get that extra $65 million that you were talking about. He's never going to get another big contract again. For all those guys who leave money on the table, they never get it back. What do you think Jalen Brunson's next job is going to be after the NBA? Is he going to be a coach? Is he going to be... What's he going to do? I don't know what he's into,
but living the dream with his 156 right now? I don't know. Golf course manager?
Right.
What do you think it is?
Maybe. I have no idea what it is, but he's never going to have the opportunity in any other job to get another $113 million.
No, nothing like this, unless he becomes Shaq and starts owning businesses and crazy stuff like that, or owns his own shoe company, basically like Jordan. Is leaving a lot of money off the table. And don't get me wrong.
And by the way, $113 million sounds fantastic, but out of that 113, especially living in New York, how much are you keeping after you're done paying taxes to Uncle Sam? You have to do your tax report for all those 15 different cities that you played in. You've got to give away a certain percentage to your agent, to your business managers. How much of that 125 is he going to keep?
Yeah, I'll give you that. He's going to lose a lot of money there. A lot of money in tax, especially in New York. It's absolutely ridiculous. You have a great point, James, on the time value, the time a player has to be able to fully maximize their compensation for their careers. And it's so small. The window's so small. Basketball, we don't see it as much as maybe in baseball with some of the pitchers, especially pitchers, or football, especially running backs and wide receivers whose careers are so short and who get hurt so easily and are just gone, right? Basketball, we'll see generally with players that are very good, they extend their careers out till their mid-30s, late 30s, etc. So his earning potential is a lot more than in some of the other sports, but you're still leaving a lot of it on the table. And what do you do now? The next contract. Let's say you continue what your Jalen's doing. The next contract, is he going to take a team-friendly deal again, or is he going to take the max, super max, whatever it is? there comes a point there where something's got to give, and you can't just keep giving back. You can't just keep giving the team the advantage on this stuff. Now, it's great, and I love what he's doing for his team. At the end of the day, though, it's a team sport, but it is about you. And it's about your family. It's about changing your life. And 156 is great. Pretty much assume that's $75 million because of taxes in New York. Just going to eat it up. And they want every single penny, and they'll do everything to screw you on taxes. So now you just signed a $75 million deal for 4 years versus a $130 million deal. That's the difference. And that's really what it comes down to is you are losing a lot here. But part of it, to me, still loves the idea that it's a team, that you want a championship. Now, to me, I would say this: maybe there's some opportunity here. Maybe there's a way to make up that 113, right, James? What if because he becomes a new fan favorite in New York, because of all this stuff, and everybody loves him, he's able to make that money off the court more, able to bring in more money there. But I don't know how much money it'd be different if he would have signed a max or not. To me, it is leaving a lot of money on the field. Or on the court, you left it there with the team when you could have taken it home and taken it to the house.
How much would your life have changed if you ended up getting that Brandon League contract?
I don't know how much it would change, but yeah, it'd make a lot of things a lot easier. I'd have a little bit easier where things would be a little bit more fun. A little bit, just less work. I wouldn't be talking to you. I'd be a screw you, dude. I would forget all my friends. I'd move away. No one would know me. Live on an island somewhere. No, things would be a little different. It would just be a little bit more relaxing in some aspects, right? Because at the end of the day, $10 million is great, guys, but a lot of that taxes go away, agent fees. It's expensive to be in the big leagues. Fly your families around all the time. We're having apartments everywhere. Everywhere you play. You play 14 different places. You're getting 14 different apartments. You're traveling nonstop. You got a house somewhere and you got an apartment. You're flying your families out. And then at the end of your career, you're playing for free. I'm paying basically to play baseball towards the end of my career, how much I was making versus how much you have to spend to just keep it up. And so life's not done, man. I'm still working, and that would have been different. I would be working, but I'd be working a little bit more for fun than it would be for to actually make a living.
And with that being said, please make sure you subscribe and like our videos and tell your friends, because the more likes, the more subscribers that we have, the more likely it is that we actually end up making $1 out of this one day. And David needs it. Look at his hair. He's got none. He needs that money for a transplant.
Right, exactly. Well, let us know, especially you New York Knicks fans, basketball fans. Let us know what you would do if you were Jalen Brunson. Would you have taken that super max deal and maybe put your team in a tougher position where you don't win a ring one day, or would you have taken just the max deal like he did, and you may give your team a chance to get a ring on your finger, something that might mean more to him than the money? Let us know what you would do. Let us know in the comments.